Analytics are very important to PointRoll's business. In fact, part of our big rebranding and repositioning coming up is around how PointRoll is unique in that we're the only provider that can offer both the art and the science of digital marketing, or the creativity and the analytics. And our history really came out of the creative side, but more and more we've seen that analytics are playing an increasingly important role in both our agency side clients and our publishers' needs. In terms of specific analytics, we look at it in a few ways. One is providing, enhanced intelligence and insights to our clients directly, both on the agency side and publisher side. So Akamai and others really help us provide granularity of data around engagement. So for instance, on the video side, a lot of what we do is providing intelligence around what types of videos work best on which sites, what types of consumers or visitor segments are more likely to watch a certain video, what types of advertisers should be using video for the most part in their campaigns, and really then providing details around levels of detail around that actual video engagement in terms of how long people are watching the video, how much of the video are they completing. So from a customer perspective, it's very important if we're going to really shift a lot of dollars over from TV, and as more and more video content, TV content comes online, we need to make sure that we have depth of data and metrics around video, and also that the integrity of the data is at the highest quality.
We've been using media analytics for more than a year at this point, and we had a very serious lack of reporting on just about every type of serving that we did. We were using performance analytics before when it came to Akamai, but we also have other CDN vendors that have their own reporting portals or platforms, and even across other vendors' reporting platforms, they couldn't deliver to us a timely report that contained the data that we needed. To give us a report to say this file was delivered at X speed, X amount of times, 5 or 6 or 7 days later, or even 30 days later, isn't truly helpful. We started piloting the media analytics program with the expectation that we would be able to close that delivery gap on the reports to better service our customers. And that's truly what it was about, that we needed to gain the information back on what we were delivering to our consumers so we could help our customers better service them.
Internally, analytics and data that we pull from Akamai helps us to determine what bit rates are being utilized most from a video standpoint. It helps us actually optimize our rendering farm, as well as what we serve, how we serve it, why we serve it. It also allows us to predict cost. So there's a lot that comes from being able to take a large picture of our consumer base, which is pretty large, and being able to see behavior, not only user behavior and what they're watching and what they're clicking, but how they're consuming it.
Originally, there was a finite amount of space assigned to each customer. Say, okay, you got 100 megs of, or whatever the number was, of reporting space, the database of all the data to report from, and that couldn't provide us all of the aggregations that we needed to get down to the individual campaign level. One of the things that was very important to us is, which was not available in performance analytics or in any of the reporting tools, was I want to know how much bandwidth this exact, or how many bytes delivered this exact asset took during this period, right? And I need to know it kind of like now. And in order for us to get that data, not knowing what campaign it was going to be, right? On Tuesday, we find out we're delivering 7 petabytes of data, and we want to know who it was. In the current one, in the performance analytics, used to say, okay, it was delivered by Flash. That wasn't good enough. We need to know the customer, we need to know the individual campaign, we need to know the individual asset. So we got together with Akamai and we customized that, and they said, okay, you can keep 10 times the amount of data that most of the other the pilot program was allowing everyone else to use. That was huge, right? So it went from having a quasi-usable product, something that could give us the premise of a report, actually down to working with a partner that's going to say, help us invest in the product, and we can deliver back to you something that's going to give you the value that you were actually willing to pay for. How do we deliver this back to you? How do we pull it out of, whether it be the URI or whether it be the FLV, or how do we pull it out and match it up against the data that's coming from the edge, right? Roll in the logs and say this individual CP code deliver this individual campaign, and you're matching it up against this KPI. That was huge for us. That's something that the reason why we went with Akamai ultimately is because no one else could provide that. The other CDN vendors that we work with, and it's more than a couple, don't have that ability. The performance of media analytics is one of the things that makes it more enjoyable. It's not only just robust, but you don't have to wait for it. And I think there's another example of how Akamai's network really can service its customer, that being close to many servers to be able to pull that data back and having it replicated out across the network allows me from anywhere on the planet to sort of get this ad hoc reporting very quickly. I can run that report and have it delivered. And that top-down approach, it sort of comes into the very generic, if you will, reporting. Like I was saying, Akamai has a number of metrics that it believes we should use, and it pre-populates with all that data right into the meat of what we're looking for. I get graphs, I get customers, I get some of that stuff that it thinks is important. From that data, I can either derive the reports that I was looking for with my custom APIs or just switch to another page. So it's fluid and it's fast.
We really leverage a lot of the video analytics data from Akamai, not only to help with pricing decisions, to really understand what we should be charging clients for certain types of video, certain video sizes and so on, but also how we should be billing those clients and making sure that we're keeping full integrity through that process as well. So we're using it both externally for clients and internally for our own operations and billing needs.